Hey, what's going on? My name is Cleo Thomas, aka Mr. Slick Living.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
And I'm the anomaly Will Ferrell. We are the Arcade Tokens, and this is Coin Toss. And this podcast is brought to you by Gridiron Gaming, powered by PFRPA, and of course produced by Thunder Studios.
That's right, man. The Smash Poll podcast is back. We got an update for you guys from week 5. The format was Squad Strike, which we saw in Group A2 in the past. In this rule set, each player selects 5 characters before the set begins. So even though I'd want to choose Link, and Link, I wouldn't be able to, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be able to play in this tournament.
Boring.
Can I just finish? Can I just finish, please? They can only use these 5 characters throughout the set, and they can only use each character once. That means they have to switch after every game, even if they won. Counter picks will function regularly, with the loser of the previous game having the advantage of picking second. First seed, Esam advanced from losers. Big shout out to MVD. He let us know that him and Esam are the Goku and the Vegeta of the Smash community. It's great to see Esam advancing into the next round.
Yes, sir. That's right. And also Sharp advanced from the winner's side. And then Supergirl Kells managed to upset Esam in the first round, taking down his Mii Brawler, which I think is a hilarious character. She was using Link in Game 5 to advance to the winners finals. But in the winners finals, Sharp moved on to play Supergirl Kells, where he won 3-1. In the losers bracket, Esam 3-0'd Prodigy to move on to the losers finals, where he won the run back against Supergirl Kells 3-1. Supergirl Kells managed to take a game off of Esam's Samus using Link, but he won the match between their mains with Mii Brawler against her Kirby. Sorry to hear that, Will, but another Kirby has fallen.
Not another Kirby hasn't fallen. It's just going to make him stronger like the Super Saiyan. That's all I'm throwing out there, man. But next week, though, Group 7 will be competing in Sakurai Says. I hope I said that right. I went to public school. Don't judge me. That rule set, the first and only time this rule set will be used in stage 1. So that is very important for the players that will be participating next week. Each match is to be played using the default rule set, a time match of 2.5 minutes, which items will be set to a medium spawn rate. Stages will be selected at random, but every character is available, and the character's counter picks work the same as a regular set. To compensate for the shorter games, though, each set in this match will be a best out of 7 rather than a best out of 5. So again, players, you need to be understanding of those who will compete. This is now a best out of 7 rather than the best out of 5 this week. Also, if this match goes to a sudden death, the players will have to play it out rather than the win going to whoever has the low percent at the end of the game, which means this is a free-for-all, winner-take-all this match for this week. And you can catch all that action this Sunday. And of course, it's always at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, it's always going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can check all of that out at Thunder Gaming's Twitch channel. And that is twitch.tv/Thunder Gaming LA. And if you need to see where the brackets are, if you want to learn the rule sets and the format of this, so one day you might want to compete in here, or you just want to know exactly what's going on when you're checking in, you can go check out all of this information at smash.gg/tournament/smashbowl-mmxxi/details. Don't worry, it'll be at the bottom or after this, so that way you don't have to remember all of that. But just be sure to check out the Smash Bowl tournament, because a winner will be decided and they are going to take home all the bragging rights and prizes, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to continue to see everyone go at it in battle and all these new characters, man. And listen, speaking of legendary characters, though, have you guys heard the news regarding Spider-Man?
Man, listen, I don't know if we can cuss on this podcast, but I almost did. Yes, I've heard the news. I don't want to take this away from you, Cleo. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. Have you heard it, Pat?
I have.
Okay.
I'm going to let Cleo drop the news.
Guys, we are really getting a live action Spider-Verse movie. It is happening. Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, all three Spider-Mans who brought him to life in live-action movies will be in one film. But not just the Spider-Man, they're villains. We have the actor who played Doc Ock from the original Spider-Man trilogy reprising his role. Then we got Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro from the Andrew Garfield series. I don't know who we're getting from the Tom Holland realm of Spider-Man villains. If I had to guess, if I had to give a clean just one shot, I want Kraven the Hunter. That's who I want to see. But nonetheless, I'm excited about this. What do you guys think?
No, not Kraven.
No?
They might do Kraven because he's the cheapest to make. I mean, it's a Latin looking dude in a lion jacket. You don't got to do too much. I liked Kraven's episodes, but in the Spider-Man has some of the best villains out of all of them. He was trash, but I was a really big fan of the Scorpion. I loved the Mysterio reprise was good. I think Chameleon would be dope. Chameleon with the belt, he always had dope episodes, and I think that they could do a super sick live action one. But he would have to be espionage for somebody who's like more powerful for sure. I would be. You said what?
As I said, that'd be a great way to introduce Kingpin, because we haven't really here's the thing too that I started thinking about with all of this. One, we've not been introduced to New York yet in this Spider-Man edition, so we don't know how Spider-Man's New York actually runs. We've seen him in his high school. We've seen him with Mysterio overseas. We've yet to see Spider-Man duke it out in New York. So we have no idea what that realm is like. Plus, this is in the MCU as well. So not only do we have to think about that, but what's to come. You have Morbius coming out, but also has Vulture in Morbius. So I have no doubt we're going to see him again.
Hobgoblin. I know we already saw the Green Goblin. Give me Hobgoblin or the Green Goblin again. I don't care. Give me a new age Green Goblin. Those are dope enough to come back. Or Venom. Skip to Venom. Give me the symbiote. What?
No, go ahead. My fault. When you say
I would say either give me the symbiote series where he gets the black suit, and then maybe that can lead to Venom. Start that, or do the one where I forget what they called it, but the one where they broke out all the villains at once and fought, and so they could all fight Spider-Man. Yes,
Sinister Six.
Give me that. Give me the Sinister Six, because a lot of them aren't strong enough to. I wouldn't want to see a whole movie about him fighting Rhino, because that's usually like the first, second level in a Spider-Man video game. But him with everybody would be lit, so that
you just cracked it. You literally said what I was just about to say.
That's how you do it.
We just cracked it though. That's it. His enemies are the Sinister Six from every version of this movie. You have Doc Ock from Tobey. You have Electro from Andrew Garfield. You already have Vulture. You only need to fill out the rest. And they have already talked about Venom may be in Spider-Man 3. So I think.
Well, you know who he could get help from? The Fantastic Four. Give me that. They used to collab all the time like rappers in Atlanta. It was Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. I would even take an old school approach, like him having Iceman and who's his old school the Fire Girl?
Oh, the Firestarter girl, the Spider-Man Amazing Friends TV series.
Yeah,
I would take that too. I don't know how that would work with the timeline. I'm just spitballing. But I'm just saying, like all the people that was in the studio with Spider-Man all throughout the years. X-Men.
That actually could work though, because they could just be in his high school. Because if it is Spider-Man, his amazing friends, that could still work, because they could just be roommates.
So I just now realized how the end of Far From Home ended. We hear J. Jonah Jameson, who returned. My man J.K. Simmons returned just to bring him back to life. That's my JJ forever. I love it. He does say, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right? But then now we're getting the other two. So this, I'm just now realizing that those two coming into the film and the story, that leads the public to now wonder, wait, who is really Spider-Man? Because Peter Parker could just go on Instagram, like, it's not me. Look, I'm at home. This guy's web slinging. It's him. That immediately goes to that guy, right?
Unless we get a Spider-Man collab with the Men in Black. The Men in Black pull up on Spider-Man and we get some type of machine that makes everybody forget, and then we just reset the whole universe.
Well, see,
I mean, he's fighting a metal octopus. Don't tell me that's not ridiculous.
I know, but got to worry about though, Pat. Then all of a sudden now this huge ass portal opens out in the middle of the ocean. Now the kaiju are attacking, and the only one to stop them is Blade. That's it. Mahershala comes in and shuts down the kaiju, and then all of a sudden at the end, just Daredevil and Deadpool are at a spot eating churros, talking about politics, and then it just credits.
I don't want to be this guy. Sadly, within all this cool stuff happening in the Spider-Man universe, Miles Morales is just somewhere tucked off to the side. We got an animated rough draft of the multi-universe. And I literally just started playing and they just gave me the alert. Do you make sure that you have all your upgrades because you're entering the final level in the Miles Morales game? And I'm like, yo, this was 2 hours long. All three of those Spider-Mans just got together, 6 butt cheeks, and just farted right on Miles Morales' face. This is like the only time I've ever been kind of upset with the Spider-Man franchise. Because I'm just like, yo, you guys are doing Miles dirt right now.
I mean, but they mentioned him, Pat. Pat, here's the thing you got to remember, too. Tom, like, this Spider-Man is 17. So that means Miles is a kid. Remember, we saw his uncle. Yeah, we saw his uncle. Like, we saw Childish Gambino when he shot. Like, that's actually Prowler. So that's Prowler. Miles Morales' uncle. But remember, he's our age. So right now, Miles is still a kid. Oh, you didn't see the deleted scene, did you, Pat?
Of Donald and Spider-Man? And him.
Yeah,
no, I saw it.
Okay, so you remember when he was on the phone, he said, Miles, I'm going to be late.
Yeah, but I thought Miles started training when he was around, like when he was a little kid.
No.
Like, wasn't Miles
gets his powers like in the first year of high school, similar to the Peter we know as this Tom Holland. There is this thing behind the scenes that people feel like they gave Miles Morales a story to the Tom Holland movie series. They're like, yo, he's in high school, like we're seeing it, like it's just the same. I don't agree. I do think we will get a live action Miles Morales, but I do not think it's going to be with this film. I do not think so. And I just got it's the history and the lineage of it, bro. Like, it has to build to that. We get it. Miles Morales is I don't know if he's a brand new character, but he, compared to the rest of the history, he's new.
Yeah. If they
so
my bad.
Well, I was just gonna say, why they give him a short game then? They could have gave him a big game. What's going on?
The same game as you, Pat. We needed a whole game for this. I don't know why they gave us this damn DLC pack.
I get the movie stuff, but why I get a 3.5 hour game? Okay, well, I just wanted to throw my complaint in the ring. I know we got other stuff to do.
but it's all good. So yeah, we'll look to see. But it looks like that's what they're setting up for us, is just as far as general and go. And then just one last thing I wanted to throw out very randomly before we move into this interview. Any of y'all fan of KFC chicken?
Yep, I saw this. I'm not a fan of KFC chicken. I'm a fan of the thing.
If you're a fan of KFC chicken, then y'all should get ready, because Lifetime is making a movie. And it is starring Colonel Sanders as the starring role. Not only, though, is Colonel Sanders starring in a Lifetime film, Saved by the Bell's Mario Lopez is playing Colonel Sanders in this Lifetime movie.
What is he doing?
All I got to say is this. Whatever department is smoking weed and making these ideas, I want to work there ASAP. ASAP.
This was a door opened by Wendy's a couple years ago. This started on Twitter, and now fast food people are just as much as trolls as social media influencers. This is a troll, and it's working. There's no way this is serious. It's probably going to be a little bit funny. I'm pulling up with KFC, and I'm watching this.
Right, same here. Same.
I'm still shocked it's happening, man. You know, my man Mario Lopez doing his thing, bro. He's a great host. He has a nationally syndicated radio show. They just rebooted Saved by the Bell. My man, good. He's well off. He's the Latin Ryan Seacrest on the low. Folks don't know. But for him to take this role as being Colonel Sanders in a Lifetime spoof of a parody, this is ridiculous. This is too much, guys. Someone greenlit this script, guys.
Must have been a bag with 12 herbs and spices. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't look anything like Colonel Sanders. And I remember we talked about it when they first switched their campaign to like this Silver Fox, super hot old Colonel Sanders. And I was just like, what is the demo here? It all led up to this. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how this is going to sell chicken, but I'm watching. Looks funny.
I mean, it just did. You said you were buying a bucket to watch this. Yeah. No one buys a bucket of KFC no more.
Yeah, but that couldn't have been the point of making a movie, to get everybody to buy a bucket. That's a hugely
not at all.
It's a weird balance budget.
KFC clearly is just like, we're not gonna do anything.
The previous crossover that KFC even did before this was they invested, or they had a whole marketing thing going on in the WWE where they actually put wrestlers dressed up as Colonel Sanders to wrestle a chicken in the ring. Like, that was happening on WWE television. So that made sense. It's funny. This is too far, guys. A full production for this.
Think about it though, Cleo, because remember before that, at one point, before that started, they were rotating out Colonel Sanders. So they were having different versions of him for commercials. So, and then too, just like how Pat said, with everything that's happening on social media, like right now, hands down, Wendy's Twitter is the most undefeated fast food like social account out there. But it's like, what do you do next? They have that locked down. So what do I do next? Screw it. Lifetime is like, hey, we got like $10 million. Y'all want to make a movie? Yes. And get Mario Lopez.
So we're going to have the Rick and Morty Colonelverse? Like, what is this? Like, we're going to have all these different KFC Colonels? This is ridiculous.
I don't know how I'm going to watch this. I just realized, who has Lifetime? I haven't had cable in a long time. How are we going to even watch it?
I'm out the window with that one.
They about to take this L. Half it'll L.
Yes, gentlemen. But with that being said, it is about time for us to go ahead and move into our interview. Just hint, because I am from this home state of where he's from, I am quite excited, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So let's go ahead and flip this coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible, legendary guest today here on Coin Toss. That's what we bring to you guys. Represent Houston, Texas. He played on the Chicago Bears for 10 plus years. He coached. He was the linebackers coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mike Singletary. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very well. How about you guys?
Very well, very well.
No, very well, very well.
It's an honor to talk to you as a linebacker. Growing up, my dad, I played wide receiver, and he was like, "You never want to run into a Mike Singletary out there, so make sure you keep your head on a pivot." So it's really great to talk to you, because I wouldn't have never wanted to take a hit from you, sir. Here at Coin Toss, this is a big gaming, video game podcast where we talk about not only everything that's going on in the esports world, but also everything that's on the field as well. So it's great to talk to a legend. I got to ask you, though, video games, are they your forte? Are they something you into? And if so, who is the biggest video game player in your immediate family?
Both my sons. I have an older son, Matt, and my youngest son is John. Matt's 32, John's 22, and they playing the games. And of course, I do not play the games very much. You know, every now and then they'll talk me into playing a game and kick the crap out of me. But probably why I don't play a lot. But anyway, I do enjoy it. When I play it, I really do enjoy it.
Do you know what kind of games they're into? Like when you do get a chance to play with them or even watch them play?
Just basically, when I'm watching them, it's the football. If it's not
Okay.
football, then I'm not going to be in it.
So you're not into like computers or any of that.
I'm not in all the other stuff. I'm into the football. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would only assume is when you are playing with them these football games, do you have team loyalty or do you kind of like sneak around and play with other teams?
No, I'll play with other teams. I mean,
Okay.
whatever they're playing, I'll do it. So as long as it's not for real. If it's not for real, I don't have any loyalty. If it's not real live team, no, I don't have any. I don't have any loyalty there.
Nice.
Okay, got you. So, but besides any, so you say you do play. If it's not football, it's not anything else. So, just from like playing the game on there, playing the video games that you see your sons play, do you see any correlation between that and from actual football, and especially like for you as like athletes and stuff?
I think the correlation that I see is I can definitely see how it can really help someone understand the game better.
Okay.
I think that it can give you a good idea of what would work, what won't work on video, and of course the only missing link is the actual getting hit. You know, the physical aspect of it. Like my man said early on, you don't want to go across the middle. Well, on a video game, you may go across the middle all the time. Hey, that works. Let's make that work. But if you have an actual receiver in the game go across the middle and he get caught, then it's going to be like, I don't think I want to do that anymore. So, and I really think that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you removing the hit. That's my favorite part about it. Look. The removing the hit. That is
part I like it when you hear bang, bow, boom. Yeah, I like that part.
You're like, now we're doing something.
Oh, I have a question. I mean, you're used to the real thing. You're used to being out there and actually hitting people and getting hit. How did you hone your skills as an NFL player?
I think for me, I found a great trainer that really helped me to prepare myself in the off season and really build myself up so that I could withstand the punishment and endure that, whether I was receiving it or dishing it out. And then making sure that I really knew what I was doing and on the mental side of it. Once I was prepared in the season, coming into it during the regular season and preparing mentally, then it was finding a teammate I could go against whether it was an offensive lineman, where I could practice getting off blocks, whether it was a running back where I could practice routes coming out of the backfield, or whether it was a wide receiver going out in various times that I would have to cover a wide receiver. And I would always take the very best of what we had to work against them so I could really hone my skills and technique so that I would be ready and prepared on game day, fully ready to go.
Absolutely. Sir, as a Super Bowl champion, a 10-time Pro Bowler, you talk about being mentally prepared going into these games. after going through an entire season, you've made it to the championship game. It is the Super Bowl. How do you decompress? How do you walk in there with no jitters, no nervousness, no butterflies? What could you do when all the stakes are that high?
I think for me, when we had the year we had the Super Bowl, it was in New Orleans, and the day I got there, I locked myself in my room, and there was a huge portrait on the wall, and I turned the portrait backwards so that I could use that for a screen. And I never came out of my room except for practice. Other than that, I was watching the film and just rewinding the game over and over in my mind so that on game day, I'd already played the game several times. And now it was just time to execute what I'd actually seen mentally that day.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I do have to know though for myself, just also being a Texas boy, just how far does the football career track back? Like when was it like, yo, I'm taking I'm putting the pads on and I'm taking it seriously now? Like for when was it when you just decided that?
Well, that's a bit of a different story because first of all, I'm the last of 10 kids, and in my family, it was against our religion to play sports. My dad was a Pentecostal pastor.
Oh, okay.
So none of my brothers could play sports. I'm the smallest in my family entirely. And so my mom and dad divorced when I was 12. And I begged my mom to let me play, and she let me play. And from the day I put on pads, it was something that I knew. I felt it so strongly. I knew it. I wrote out my vision statement and I put it on the wall. This is something I'm going to do. I'm going to get a scholarship. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to be an All-American. I'm going to get drafted and go to the NFL. I'm going to go be an All-Pro. I'm going to build my mom a house. All of those things I wrote out at 12 years old and put on my wall. So that's when I knew.
That's a pretty unique story. I mean, so you said the Pentecostal church, it was sports and against that.
Yes. The Pentecostal religion believes that anything that, any kind of dancing, games, physical games where somebody can get hurt. It was just something that they just believed that, God really didn't really want you to be a part of that. And the thing that I was able to talk to my mom about, and really the Pentecostal church in some places is different now, but at that time it was very, very strict. And I mean, I can understand it to a point. I remember when I was playing for Chicago, and I'd heard a couple of guys, and I didn't feel good about that. And there was an article that came out that said, Mike Singletary is supposed to be a Christian, but he's knocking out guys. He's hurting guys. How can that be? And I really had to, that off season, I really had to search myself and really pray about it. Do I give up the game and go to something else? Because I don't want to be known as somebody that's hurting people. And I really tried to play the game the way it was supposed to be played and play it clean. So I had to work through that and came up with the thought that, God gave me this ability, He gave me this talent. And I know in my heart that when I go out and play, I play for the love of the game and not to hurt anyone and move on. And that's kind of how I made my mind up to stay in the game.
Wow.
Absolutely. To hear you speak about having that internal battle, is really enlightening because, you look at your stats and you're well over 1,400 tackles in your NFL career. As a linebacker playing in the NFL, was there any other position that you played leading up to your actual NFL career? Whether it was when you were in Pop Warner, high school, college, or was it always linebacker?
it was always middle linebacker. Always. From the first day I put on the pad to moving forward. They asked me to play running back. I couldn't play running back. In my mind, once I started playing middle linebacker and I studied middle linebackers, what they do, I hated anybody with the ball. So I couldn't take the ball and all of a sudden start running the ball. I didn't want anything to do with the ball. Anybody that had the ball, I'm going to hit you. So I had to work through that. I really did do that.
That's one of the funnest parts, though. Is linebackers. We have the most fun. It's just like, if we done and I
great.
see you, it's a wrap. Oh, I'm coming for you.
All day. Yes, sir.
So I have a quick question. Are you in? Are you go? Do you go to Houston a lot? Like, are you in Houston a lot?
I go. I get there maybe twice a year.
Okay. So I have a question because I just got back from Houston on Sunday, and I had reservations to the Turkey Leg Hut, and I was with so many slow, obnoxious people. we got to our 5 o'clock reservation at 6:30 p.m. and ended up eating Chick-fil-A in the parking lot. So I need to know from a Houston native, how much did I miss out on this turkey leg? Is this like a legendary Houston thing, or is it like something that the locals are like, it's okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
It's
all
okay.
right.
He saves you a lot of heartbreak, Pat.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's better at the fair, if I'm being honest, on the rodeo.
So just for anybody from a Houston legend, just for the next time myself or anybody else is in Houston, what is the local spot? Like what's the spot to eat at in Houston? Because I need to know because I'm so heartbroken.
Well, there are a couple. The number one place that anybody would tell you is Papados. That you want to go to Papados. But there's another place that not a lot of people know about, and it's called Frenchie's Po' Boys, and it's right across the street from the University of Houston Stadium. It is the bomb. It is the best chicken anywhere.
Mike, hold on, Mike.
Po' Boys.
I got to tell you, Mike, they actually shut that one down. That one.
No.
Oh no!
They tore it down. I was actually in Houston.
What do you mean they shut it down?
They shut it down because they're expanding like U of H's stuff, so they closed that one, but they moved it somewhere else. But yeah, like the original one.
Well, I gotta find it.
There's still more locations.
On the show.
No, there's still more locations that you can get. I think there's like 8 now that I know of, like around Houston. So they're expanding, so you can still go. But like
I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah,
that's serious food now. That's good stuff.
Nah, what was the Mike order when you went there though? I just got to know because you said it was the best chicken.
I mean, I get any piece of chicken you get there is great, but they have all of the other sides as well, whether it's beans, green, yams, and cornbread. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards. And I'm gonna tell you something now. I only eat fried food once or twice a year, and it's there.
Good for you. All right, that's good stats.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is good.
Once or twice a year only.
Once or twice a year. That's the only time I eat fried food, and it's there.
I got to get with the program, Mr. Singletary. I got to get with this. I got to figure out what it's going to be. To jump back to football, just really, really quick, as a legendary middle linebacker, I have to ask you, who are some other great linebackers that you saw come up after you that you had the drive and the will to be legends in that position, and also any current players that you are really excited for to see them take on that challenge of being a legendary middle linebacker?
Well, the first guy comes to mind is Ray Lewis. Being able to meet him, coach him, mentor him was a blessing. And then I go from Baltimore and go to San Francisco, and it's Patrick Willis. Being able to know him, coach him, mentor him, was a tremendous as a really quality people, first of all, and really played the game the way it was supposed to be played. Outside of that, unfortunately, when I look at the game today, I think a middle linebacker takes on it's a different meaning than it used to be. You have to be concerned about how you hit guys, making sure that, and part of that is really good because you have to keep your face up. And not a lot of people are teaching that, but that's one of the first things I teach when I'm coaching players is if you play any kind of defensive, and you're going to be hitting somebody, you have to put your face up. You have to see what you're hitting, and most guys don't. And some of these penalties in the NFL, I think they could simplify the penalties if they would just basically say, if the young man face, he should not get penalized. He should not, because it's not hurting him. And 9 times out of 10, he's not hurting the person he's hitting because he's not hitting it with the crown. If his head is not down, then I don't care how hard it is. As long as his head is not down and he sees what he's hitting, it should be a legal hit. Absolutely.
Makes sense to me. I feel like that's a simple adjustment that could. Yeah. Did you think about it like that? That makes sense.
Yeah, but like you said, most people ain't teaching it. So when that hut start, they'll do like that and then go forward, and it's just like, and then now you just see somebody crying coming right here,
and that's very dangerous.
Yeah, and then hitting you right here and stuff, messing up yourself. But then also too, they can mess up their spine depending on how fast they go.
You're exactly right.
But yeah, so I do have to know. So you said that you have played Madden with your son. So one thing that we kind of started having a tradition here was that most video games, especially football, they have stats for each and every single player. So we already know the strength you have when it comes to being a legendary middle linebacker. So from a scale of 1 to 100, if
99
next Madden drops and they're giving out the Mike Singletary Legends Pack, what rating would you give yourself?
I'll give myself some leeway here. I'll say 95. 95.
That's that's top tier.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Let's add 4 points for being from Texas. Let's add 4 points for that. And then let's add half a point. Yeah, that's how it works. That's what I think.
All right.
According to Google, man, Mike Singletary is in the Ultimate Legends pack of Maddens. In Madden 17, his overall 99. They tried to play him going into Madden 18. They dropped it down to a 97. Listen, the man should stay at a 99 forever. Forever.
You literally gave yourself leeway. I didn't know you were being literal, but you literally got that's
and I normally do. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Spot on, I think, right, Pat?
That's really cool, huh?
You said it was a 99, Cleo? The first
99.
Looking at it on Google, it said in Madden 18, it was a. Give me a second. Yeah, in Madden 17, they had him at 99. The next year, they tried to drop him down to a 97. Nah, he should have stayed at the 99.
That's pretty impressive. That's insane.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I have a final question. You've been this sort of. I feel like ever since you put on these pads, like you said, and you felt that this is what I want to do, you kind of became this this football player. You know what I mean? And at one point you weren't Mike, and then at some point you became Mike. So I just have a question for all the people who need advice for those adapting to life in the spotlight. Do you have any advice for those people who are just now becoming that guy in the NFL?
Well, I think it's extremely important that whoever I am, before I put the pads on, I need to be that same person when I take the pads off. To me, true greatness is being able to be consistent. If I'm on the field and I'm playing the game, and just like you said, 99%, well, off the field, I want to make sure that I'm 99% as a father. I want to make sure that I'm 99% as a husband. I want to make sure that I'm 99% as a brother. I want to make sure that I'm 99% as an American, whatever that's supposed to be. But if I can't be consistent, then to me, there's a breakdown. And at some point in time in my life, it's going to catch up with me. I want the people that know me the most, respect me the most. And that's the people in my, and if I can strive for that same 99%, 0.9 every day, from the time that I wake up, from the time I took off those pads, from the time that I'm continuing to be a dad, a grandfather, the whole 9 yards, man, I want to aspire to be excellent in everything that I do. And to me, as long as I do that, then I got a chance to continue to move up in my life and never stagnate, always growing, always getting better, always learning, always achieving, always making a difference. If I can do that, I'm getting where I want to be.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you're a coach. Just the inflation. I can't play football worth a damn. I feel motivated. I'm like, all right, for sure. Let's get it.
Walk out on the field that don't exist. I'm like, let's get it, coach.
That was a great cadence. Always. Oh, let's go.
Oh man. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Singletary. We appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing all these great words with us, sharing the great stories with us, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. God bless you guys, man. Take care.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you. Amazing interview with one of the top 100 players in NFL history. He's ranked number 56, okay? The Super Bowl that he was in which he won, they destroyed the New England Patriots, a score of, I believe, 46-10. Like, we ain't heard the Patriots get smacked like that since, but he did it. Mike Singletary did it. He's a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl champion. Man, a great day.
Yeah, so I think that's just great advice to follow for anybody that is in any industry that requires you to be in the spotlight. I think that was a great advice from Mr. Singletary. But thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out another episode of Coin Toss. Make sure you check this out on all streaming platforms. Make sure you check out the audio version, and make sure you're following Thunder Gaming and Thunder Studios, as well as the Arcade Tokens, Cleo Thomas, Patrick Cloud, and myself. And we will catch you next time.